welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim, and our guest today is George. So, George, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you're located and what you do.
Sure. Well, I'm George Yusupov. I'm CEO and founder of Uppership. Uppership is an innovative 3PL solution targeting small and medium e-com businesses and emerging brands. So our goal is to really provide an end-to-end solution where emerging brands can have sort of for their shipping, for their co-working, for their marketing needs. So it's sort of like all in one place, specifically designed for small e-com businesses. I'm currently located in New Jersey. We have a facility that's operating in Delaware, and we are going to be opening up a fully automated micro fulfillment in Brooklyn, New York, in the next 6 months.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
So I guess in terms of how exactly it works, right? So it integrates with Shopify, or like is it an extension? Can you kind of get into more detail of how exactly it works?
Yeah, absolutely. So we fully integrated with, we have over, I believe it's over 30 integrations with different platforms, e-commerce platforms. So you send us your products, we take over completely. Whenever you get an order, we get that order right away. And we usually do fulfillment within the same day, and off it goes. It's really simple. So it's really giving you the ability to kind of streamline the whole process. So yeah.
It's kind of similar to Amazon FBA, but it's probably less fees and it's more efficient, is my guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot more efficient. We're a lot more personalized. We're sort of like your own shipping department, whereas Amazon, it's a whole different beast, if you will.
So what types of products are you working? Because like, for example, like my background in supply chain, I work with, food products that were temperature controlled. So is that something that you guys are doing or thinking about doing?
Yes, absolutely. So our main focus right now is actually apparel and beauty products, but we are definitely going to be expanding into products that will require some temperature control. We have that capability, so something that we're going to be expanding into. But for the most part, right now it's apparel, beauty. We can handle some electronics, but nothing bulky at the moment.
So I guess as of right now, what does your typical day look like as an entrepreneur?
Well, my typical day is it's a little crazy because you gotta do a lot of stuff, including fundraising, talking to investors, talking to business owners, clients, making sure that operations are intact. So yeah, the day it's crazy.
Nice, cool. So, by the way, would you please let us know how are you spending your day? What is your usual day nowadays?
My day in terms of like
In terms of with business and handling business and your domestic life.
oh so it's wake up early in the morning, right? Start it down, yeah. Put in some work in the morning, do a little workout, then come home, take my daughter to daycare, and about 8 o'clock, I'm at the computer and meetings back to back. So that's a typical day until it's about 5, 6 o'clock, and then I try to squeeze in some work in the evening before I get to bed. So yeah, your typical 70-hour week. So,
Okay,
yeah.
nice. So, by the way, what is the technology role in your business and your life right now?
We're very tech forward, tech and automation, actually. This is one of the big differentiator in terms of what we do, because we built our own technology. And so it's, the flexibility. Well, I think the question was the role, and it's a big role. I mean, we've tried
You
out technologies that for 3PL purposes, but we just kind of decided that the best way for us to do is to do it our own.
Okay, so it is helping you in generating the leads and doing the marketing, like all these stuffs. So
Yeah, I mean, leads, marketing, we use technology for that as well. Day-to-day operations, everything involves around technology. I think it's extremely hard to not use it, especially if you want to be efficient.
Do you think there are any improvements that, by the way, everybody needs improvements and every business needs improvements. So I'm not going that much general at all. But
Yeah,
yeah, do you think like technology can give you more value, can add more value in your business by adding something into it, like maybe anything, like any type of thing?
absolutely. I think technology is essential. It definitely adds value. It adds efficiency, provides efficiency.
But what could be the main thing that you think this thing can leverage my business a lot? This thing can give me a lot of value, and I always think about it like I should have this.
Yeah. Well, we do have a very healthy, if you will, a backlog of things that need to be
Okay.
done. So, I mean, if you want me to
I,
dive into that, I mean, it's going to take probably a whole.
okay, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna dive into it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess like if it's as of today, like what would be? I mean, we can, in terms of technology, it's just getting more specific. But I guess like, what is your number one priority technology wise for 2023?
I think it's not bringing up to speed, but drastically improving on our existing technology in terms of the warehouse management system, the transportation management system. So whatever we're using today, our in-house technology is just massively improving it. And uh, probably the next step would be to drastically improve user experience. Right now, we're focusing more on the utility aspect of the technology. I mean, there's just so much to expand on when it comes to technology. It's it's not even funny.
But obviously, this is the age of tech, by the way. And after in 2023, after the introduction of AI and GPT,
Mm-hmm.
things are evolving in a very speedy manner. So I believe there will be a lot of things at your side you will be going to plan. So
Yeah.
uh, precisely, what are the goals for your next 6 months? Genetically, not just dependent on the technology.
Well, for the next 6 months, like I said, it's launching our new facility. It's getting automation in place, improving our technology, and you know, just being able to scale and provide a really great service for our clients. And so next 6 months are just dedicated for that. So the
So,
expansion, the scale build, yeah, the
so your
scale,
WMS and TMS that are custom built by you guys, right?
yeah.
So is also like a goal, like have you thought about selling that to other companies as well, or are you planning on keeping that software in-house only for Uppership?
Yeah, not at the moment, exactly. So we're right now it's built for us. We have no plans to sell it to other 3PL companies.
So what made you want to do a custom built WMS or TMS? Because there's so many options out
I
there. Actually,
know.
like my background is in that. I used to work in supply chain, so I used to work with those systems. So what made you want to do custom, like your own system, as opposed to using some other one?
Sometimes I ask myself the same question, and it's a tricky one. You definitely don't want to build where you avoid building. I think that's where you should go with. We just saw our product in general, our company, as something different in terms of the offering. And if we were trying to, it was just too much inconvenience and to kind of put together like existing WMS and then other things that we wanted to do. So we had to build a core that is our system. And then on that, where we don't have to build, we'll just build a tech stack on top of that. Meaning we'll be integrating the different services and engines, and avoid building everything ourselves, obviously.
So are you a developer, or like when was the first line of code written for this?
When?
Yeah, yeah.
I think it was 2021, and it
Okay.
took like a couple, iterations when we actually got to the product that we wanted to build.
But are you like a developer yourself? What's
I'm
your
not.
background? Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm not a developer. So I have a technology partner that I work with, but I'm not a developer now.
So I guess like, if you're not like a developer, like what do you recommend for somebody starting a business? Like how do you find a good technology partner, like how you were able to find?
It's tricky. I think, especially when you don't know what you're doing. I mean, especially when you don't have a background. Probably referrals, word of mouth. I got well, before I got to my final technology partner, I had several, bad experiences. I think everyone goes through this. So I think I found one on Upwork, and then it just kind of led to building a relationship.
Yeah,
So
Upwork is a good place. It's funny because Qasim and I met on Fiverr, and I had a same exact experience as you. Like, I had an app myself, and I had all these different partners, and then Qasim was the one that I'm like, okay, this guy actually knows what he's talking about. So,
yeah,
yeah, it's a difficult thing.
it is absolutely. I think you want to look for a partner as just a contractor. A partner is someone who is willing to share the risks when need to, and who's willing to take accountability. And I think that's important.
Is your partner also in the U.S. or New York, or where are they located?
Yeah, they're partially in Ukraine, unfortunately, with everything that's been going on, and some have left, but yeah, primarily they're a Ukrainian-based partner.
Well, yeah, I mean, I see like a lot of Ukrainian folks that are in the tech space. There's so many engineers in Ukraine, which is really cool.
Yeah,
Um, I
that's
guess in terms of like, next steps, right? In terms of expansion, right? You talked about the warehouse in Brooklyn. Like, what's next like in the pipeline? Like, if we're talking a couple of years from now, like, are you planning on growing outside of New York? Like, what is the
of
vision
course.
for Uppership?
Yeah, we want to build those micro fulfillment centers across the US, and so yeah, next 5 years are going to be exciting. Going to be filled with growth and pain, because growing pain, it's a real thing. But yeah, we're excited about the future.
So I guess in terms of like when you're adding new facilities, like how do you plan to do it in a way? Because I think it's like sometimes companies grow too quickly. Like how do you plan to do it in a way that's like sustainable, where it's like you're not opening up like a bunch of warehouses like all at once. Like how are you going to do it from that standpoint?
We do have a plan of how we are going to be rolling them out, and it's a process that I guess you have to understand, fundamentally, like what you're doing, what your client looks like, what the needs are. And you might roll out a facility that's just not going to fill up, and you really have to do your homework before. This is why we're very specific about the areas where we want to be, clients that we want to work with, automation that we adopting. It's everything. I mean, it's really hard to kind of like just give an answer in one sentence, like this is the strategy. It's a lot of homework.
Right. So in terms of strategy, like how are you going about selling this to your, clients? I'm sure there are probably people like on the waiting list ready, for you guys to roll out. Like, is it like LinkedIn? Like where are you finding these customers?
Yeah, right now we're actually kicking our campaign off. We're started because up until this moment, a lot of things were in sort of like proof of concept. And so now it's actually about to take off. But yeah, LinkedIn for sure. Although our ideal client is not really a typical LinkedIn persona. So it's email marketing, it's Google ads, Facebook ads. I'm not the best marketing expert here, but yeah, it's all those things. You have to utilize all those channels.
Have you thought about like Instagram or TikTok? I feel like, we're in the
Yeah,
e-com space too. I feel like a lot of our, clients are just hanging out like on those platforms.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So it's built into our strategy. Instagram, TikTok, absolutely. You got to be there. You got to go where your clients are.
No, 100%, 100%. Qasim, go ahead.
Yeah. So, have you ever give a thought for AI in your business,
Yes.
artificial intelligence in your business?
Yes, absolutely. We do use a little bit of AI right now, although not for utility purposes in terms of like our technology. But this is definitely something we're looking into, especially in analyzing order patterns, inventory control, and just all of those things in order to be able to provide insights for our clients that are just going to be very packed with value. So yeah, absolutely. Answer your question, yes.
So, a little bit off from this topic, but what risks and sacrifices does such an enterprise demand
Risks.
at a stage? Risks and
Yeah,
sacrifices.
yeah. I think risk, you have to be able to kind of like, it's a huge risk. You can calculate risk as much as you want, but at the end of the day, I think you have to have the stomach for the risk. You have to be able to go for the ride. uh it's really hard. You plan one thing and then another thing happens, and then the economy is bad, and a bunch of things that just out of your control. And so just have to be aware of risk. you know do your best to kind of mitigate. As my one of my advisors, he always says that revenue, cash flow, we always have to be thinking about revenue. We always have to be thinking about cash flow. But as a CEO, as an entrepreneur, you always want to think about other things as well, like improving your product, speaking to clients, marketing, and this and that. And so yeah, risk is definitely, it's a real thing. You got to be aware. You got to be able to go for that ride. Sacrifice, I mean, at the end of the day, I think you have to enjoy it, regardless of risk and sacrifices. If you're not enjoying this, it's going to be very painful.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah,
Because in entrepreneurship, there are a lot of uncertainties.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's like Mike Tyson says, everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth, and so all that
Yeah,
goes out the window. So
yeah. This is cool. Yeah,
yeah.
impressive. So, by the way, at this stage, like where you are, do you care about the competitors as well? You think about the competitors as well, or you think like you are matchless, you don't have any competition?
Oh no, 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 no. Of course, competition is there. It's a real thing. We admire some of our competitors. At the end of the day, I think it's not a winner takes all industry and market. So we had 15% e-commerce transactions are happening on e-commerce right now. In the next 15 years, it's going to get to 95%. So uh, it's just going to be room for everyone. You have to understand your technology. You have to understand your market, your client. What are you actually doing for your client? And then, competitors are great. You could, brainstorm, bounce ideas. And they actually make you better.
So
Right.
view Amazon as one of your competitors or no?
Not really. We're just different. Like, we're not really focusing on FBA. Amazon's, it's, thanks to Amazon, a lot of companies like ours exist actually in the first place, because they're the ones that started with like, FBA and taking it to mass market. They're huge. They're great. They have their negative sides for sure. They have their positives, and so it's just different clients that we're targeting.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Amazon. Yeah, I mean, we're also the e-com, like I mentioned. Like we don't view Amazon as competition because, like you said, they're a totally different ball game, and it's yeah, e-commerce, and we're also in the space. So I had an e-com store for 9 years. Like I understand exactly what you're saying. I mean,
Right.
that 95% of business like on e-com is a real thing, and it's going to be going in that direction. So just to wrap, I guess, what advice do you have for any entrepreneur, somebody who's thinking about starting a business and making that leap, kind of, what you have done so far?
Uh, I think it's, learning. Be open to learning. I think it's, everything is evolving so fast. Just stay on top of things. Do your best, and and head down first. I don't know, 4 years, 5 years. Just like, it's a grind.
Yeah, 100%. Well, we're rooting for you at South Lake. We're wishing, we're hoping for Uppership to be a very successful company and multi-million-dollar company in the next few years. So let's keep in touch, and hopefully, we wish you the best and lots of success.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure. Appreciate it.
There's
Likewise.
one
Yeah.
observation. I think more and more entrepreneurs are wearing black shirt.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even realize that. It was, yeah,
Many
like,
of our podcasts, many of the entrepreneurs were in black shirt as well.
It's just easy because you don't have to think about it. I know Zuckerberg was always like, "Oh yeah, this is just what I wear every day." I don't even think about it. I'm like, "That's me." I'm like, "This is just an easy thing, and that's it."
that's
So
so true. Yeah, but I didn't
Yeah.
realize that. Yeah, it's like we're from the same crew.
exactly. All right,
Awesome,
George. Well,
guys.
thank you so much. Have a great
Thank
rest of
you.
your day. Thank you.
You as
All right,
well.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
bye.